The next important point I want to make is to embrace the mess. What is the mess? The mess is the data itself. So when we get data from various sources, at the end of the day, like I mentioned earlier, your stakeholders are the ones who kind of guide you in terms of like what you need to engineer in your data. And some of those aspects are related with KPIs, so key performance indicators. And that is the main thing. That's your main role. That's the main reason why you are a data engineer in that organization, is to set up the data so that it's useful for them and also useful for the company down the road. So, those decisions all tie back to the KPIs and key performance indicators, like I said, that the product managers, data scientists, and data analysts actually look for in your data. Now, how do we get there? So they would make some requirements or some suggestions like, hey, here's the data I'm looking for, and you're going to ask the question why. And when you do, you're going to get a reply like, okay, this is why we want, and this is how it aligns with the company goals, and so on and so forth. You step back and you look at, okay, if they want that outcome, how do I get there from the input data that I have? And we look at the input data, some of those things don't make sense at all. And it is up to you to get that clarification from your stakeholders in terms of like, here's the type of data I'm getting. I want to understand what that is. And maybe sometimes you might have to talk to those who are actually producing the data from your source itself. Maybe those are writing the code for the app that's producing those events, as in when someone's clicking on the website or clicking on the app itself. And so those events are coming through. And you have a say in terms of how you want those events to look like. You could specify a specific type of taxonomy. You could work with the product managers to get that straightened out. It's only makes your life better. For instance, let's look at this event. I'll come to all of this later, but this is the source of data that I'm getting in my example here. So event GUID, every event needs to have a GUID. Now this is like a set of events that just keep coming in real time from an app or from a website. In my case, I'm actually generating them, and this is all synthetic data. But look at the name of this field. It says session duration. What does that mean? What is the unit of that? Like this 130, is that in seconds? Is that in milliseconds? Is that in nanoseconds? That is what a data engineer does, is to kind of like comb through all of this and make sure there's a really good definition in terms of what each data point represents and why it's there and for what reason. Once you get that straightened out, all the cards fall into place when you build your pipeline. So, like I said, embrace the mess. And the other side of that is embracing the mess is nothing but prioritizing business value. So you are focusing on what your stakeholders need and then working to get that part straightened out, not really try to fix everything. So that's how you move forward and move fast and fail fast.